Biological safety cabinets, or BSCs, are the primary means of containment for personnel working with infectious agents and other biohazards. The BSC provides protection to personnel, research products, and the environment through the use of HEPA-filtered directional airflow. Knowing how the air is passed through the cabinet is an essential part of understanding the proper use of this common laboratory equipment. The diagram shows a version of the most common type of BSC on UK's campus, the Class II cabinet. A Class II BSC recirculates a portion of the air back into the cabinet, while the remaining portion is either exhausted out of the cabinet, back into the laboratory area, or, in the case of a ducted unit, out of the building entirely. All air is HEPA filtered before either recirculating back into the cabinet or exiting the BSC. Please note, BSCs that recirculate air into the room should not be used for work with volatile or toxic chemicals, as health and safety hazards can result from the buildup of chemical vapors in the cabinet and laboratory. The efficacy of BSCs depends upon the behavior of the operator, the BSC's placement within the laboratory, and the movement of other personnel in the laboratory. Air currents and drafts can disrupt the airflow within a BSC and compromise containment. Ensure BSCs are located away from doors, vents, and traffic paths. Good techniques when working within a BSC will minimize air turbulence and prevent unwanted spread of aerosols by maintaining proper airflow. The following guidelines will help keep you, your research materials, and the environment safe. Equipment necessary for immediate work will be placed in the BSC. Place large items close to the sidewalls rather than at the back of the cabinet where they will interfere with airflow. Blocking the intake grills in the front and rear of cabinet will interfere with proper functioning of the cabinet, which can cause a loss of containment of infectious organisms. Keep materials at least 4 inches from the front opening and the back grill of the BSC. Prepare your work with procedures in mind. Arrange the materials within the cabinet in a manner to ensure good aseptic technique. All work flows from one side of the cabinet from clean to the other side, dirty. Contaminated items never cross over to the uncontaminated clean area. Before use, check to ensure that the BSC has been certified within the past year. All BSCs at the University of Kentucky are required to be certified at least annually by an NSF certified technician. Look for a sticker on the BSC with this information. If the unit you are using has not been certified, please notify your laboratory manager immediately. Verify that the cabinet blower is on and functioning properly based on observance of magnehelic gauges and/or digital readouts. Purge the BSC by turning the blower on for at least 15 minutes before work begins. Wear appropriate PPE. The minimum PPE required is a lab coat and disposable gloves. Depending on the agent in use, you may be required to utilize a disposable wraparound gown or disposable sleeves. Make sure your disposable gloves are pulled over the cuffs of your lab coat to ensure your bare wrists are not exposed to potentially infectious materials. Wipe the interior of the BSC, which includes the work surface, walls, and interior surface of the sash, and items placed in the cabinet with an efficacious and approved disinfectant. During work, utilize special procedures to reduce potentials for splatter, such as dispensing liquids along the wall of tubes. Never disengage the alarm. The alarm indicates when the cabinet has improper airflow or reduced performance, which may endanger the researcher and/or the experiment. Perform work at the proper sash height, and never lean into the BSC so that your head is inside the unit. Only one person should work in a BSC at a time. Use of a Bunsen burner in a BSC is prohibited. Open flames are not required in the near microbe-free environment of a biological safety cabinet and create turbulence which disrupts the pattern of air supplied to the work surface. Instead, utilize disposable inoculating loops and spreaders, or use special equipment such as a Fireboy, Bacticinerator, or glass bead sterilizer. After work, surface decontaminate the exterior of all materials prior to removal from the cabinet. This includes your supplies and the generated waste. Wipe the interior surface of the cabinet with an approved disinfectant after all items have been removed from the cabinet. Do not rely on UV light as a means of decontamination, and be sure the BSC sash is closed when UV is in use. Allow the blower to remain on 15 minutes after work has concluded. Good practices during use of a BSC include washing hands before and after use. Many BSCs are equipped with germicidal ultraviolet or UV lamps. time of exposure, distance, presence of dust or debris, and UV lamp intensity all affect the germicidal effect of the UV lamp. UV lights should never be utilized as a primary means of disinfection of a biological safety cabinet. UV lamps may damage eyes, skin, and laboratory equipment. The Department of Biological Safety discourages the use of UV lamps due to the potential damage resulting from UV lamp use. For more information regarding UV light, please see the Department of Biological Safety website. Protect vacuum lines by using an appropriate double-trap system. The left suction flask is used to collect the contaminated fluids into a suitable decontamination solution. The right flask serves as a fluid overflow collection vessel. An N-line hydrophobic HEPA filter is used to protect the building vacuum system from microorganisms. The entire system should be contained in an autoclavable pan or similar vessel to prevent spills in case of a broken flask. Flasks should be emptied at the end of work, and fresh disinfectant solution should be placed in the catch flask before work begins again. For further useful information about UK's Biosafety Program or to access the UK Biosafety Manual, please visit the UK Department of Biological Safety website.